Welcome to Rapid Fire Wednesdays, Q&A for corporate immigration professionals. I'm Kimberly Best Robideau, a partner at our San Diego office, and I'm joined as always by Mickey Matrician, co-managing partner of our Boston office. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving holiday last week, Mickey, and that your trip to New York is going well.
Yes, Thanksgiving was wonderful and your conference is great.
Awesome. I love to hear that. And, last week, thinking about Rapid Fire Wednesday, it was a little calm until about the middle of the week. So, we're going to talk about a few things. One is the Gold Card program with information that recently came out, as well as TPS updates. And then the recent administration pause on all decisions for travel ban countries. So, Nikki, let's start with the Gold Card program. Can you tell us a little bit about that and some background?
Yeah. So the Gold Card program was established by Executive Order 14351, which was released on September 19th of 2025. And it was created by this administration to provide a new pathway to U.S. permanent residency for certain foreign nationals. It's administered by USCIS in coordination with the Department of Commerce and the Department of State. And just recently, USCIS released an update about the program. So the update is USCIS circulated a draft of a new form, the Form I-140G, to the Office of Management and Budget for review. And that's the form that would be submitted with USCIS when applying for the proposed Gold Card. And this program would allow foreign nationals or corporate sponsors to obtain permanent residence in exchange for a qualifying donation to the U.S. Treasury. The agency is aiming for a public rollout by December 18th of this year, although details may change as the rulemaking process continues.
Thanks, Mickey, for that background. It's really helpful. And to continue on, how would the Gold Card program work? And are there any USCIS filing fees that are associated with this new form I-140G?
Yeah, so a foreign national or sponsoring employer could make a U.S. Treasury donation that would make the individual eligible for a green card under the EB1 Extraordinary Ability or EB2 National Interest Waiver categories. And the current draft parameters require a $1 million donation from an individual or a $2 million donation from a corporate petitioner. And USCIS is expected to set a filing fee of approximately $15,000 for each principal petition. Separate filing fees may apply for dependent family members and biometrics and premium processing if premium processing is even offered by USCIS for this type of case. Additional fees that should be anticipated are for professional advisory services or potential state filings and required ongoing reporting. So, professional advisory services could include not only immigration attorneys' fees, but tax professionals, among others. Turning it to you, Kim, how should potential applicants or employers prepare financially?
Yeah, well, this Gold Card program process will involve a lot more than just immigration issues and planning. And specifically, individuals and corporate sponsors may be dealing with various investment options to ensure the required funds are readily available when that donation and the filing deadlines occur. So, treasury bills, treasury notes, and treasury based money market funds have been mentioned as vehicles that might provide liquidity and transparency to potentially help petitioners time that donation and fee payments appropriately. And that is, outside of the scope of our immigration expertise, which means bringing in the right professional advisors, which will be critical to participation in this Gold Card program. So, this is somewhat similar to what happens with the EB5 program. Are there any documentation requirements of which immigration and global mobility teams should be aware at this time for this program that will come into existence?
Yeah, so we anticipate that USCIS will expect clear and well organized source of funds documentation, account histories, and records of all transactions tied to that donation. Organizations sponsoring employees should coordinate closely with Immigration Counsel and financial advisors to ensure compliance with evidentiary standards. And for any immigration and global mobility teams considering this path, they may want to start focusing on the following at this point in time: compliance and tax planning in collaboration with counsel and finance teams, identifying the appropriate donation channels once USCIS finalizes guidance, gathering source of funds evidence to avoid delays, establishing a liquidity plan covering the $1 million or $2 million donation plus the anticipated $15,000 USCIS filing fee. And then, of course, monitoring USCIS for updates as the program continues through rulemaking and review.
Thanks, Mickey. And let's switch gears and talk about the most recent actions taken by the current administration, which occurred just following the shooting of the two National Guards in Washington, D.C. on November 25th.
Yeah, right. So this week, the Trump administration directed USCIS to pause the final adjudications of all cases for individuals from the 19 countries subject to the travel ban that was issued by the Trump administration in June of 2025. So, our understanding is that this pause is in effect until USCIS provides guidance on additional vetting of individuals from these countries. The 19 travel ban countries include Afghanistan, Burma, Chad, Republic of the Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Yemen, Burundi, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan, and Venezuela. And this pause applies to approvals and denials of all form types, as well as naturalization oath ceremonies for individuals from those travel ban countries. And Kim, before we wrap up, can you please provide us with the current updates on temporary protected status?
Yeah, sure. So we have three updates at this time. TPS for Syria was set to expire on November 21st. However, on November 19th, in Doe versus Nome, the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York verbally ruled on the plaintiff's motion to postpone the termination of TPS for Syria. While a written order is still forthcoming, the court ruled that TPS for Syria can continue because of the severe risks to more than 6,100 Syrians if TPS is terminated and they are forced to return to Syria. USCIS did update the TPS website for Syria on November 21st to acknowledge this order, which was made verbally, but they have not provided any additional information about extension of work authorization for TPS Syria. Then on November 24th, DHS provided an advance notice of a Federal Register notice to be published on November 25th. And that Federal Register notice extends the TPS designation and work authorization for Burma for 60 days. So USCIS TPS website should be updated after the official publication in the Federal Register, and it was. And Immigration and Global Mobility team members should re-verify such employees' work authorization as necessary based on this update for that extension of the TPS designation. And they should also plan accordingly for any disruptions in business operations with individuals not being able to provide alternative work authorization once TPS expires in January. And then on November 28th, DHS published a Federal Register notice terminating the designation of Haiti, and that TPS for Haiti will officially end on February 3rd of 2026 based on this DHS notice in the Federal Register. So a lot going on with TPS this month, as well as the travel ban countries and just a whole bunch of things that are happening. And with that, I guess it wraps up this week's Rapid Fire Wednesday. We'll continue monitoring legislative, regulatory, and court developments, as well as new agency guidance, and we will bring you updates as they are released. As always, for the latest updates to the immigration landscape, follow WR Immigration on LinkedIn, as well as Mickey and my personal profiles for breaking updates and insights. We also transcribe each Rapid Fire Wednesday episode and share it through our weekly newsletter, to which you can subscribe via the link in the video description. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Good seeing you, Mickey, and safe travels.
Thank you, Kim. Good to see you too.